Welcome back, my fellow pod enjoyers, and in today's video I will show you the most insane deck that you can play for the Synchro Festival right now. You have already seen it in the thumbnail. It is Naturia P.U.N.K, and this deck works so great because it has so many synergies, like discarding tree with Foxy Tune is just great. Milling Naturias with Chaos Ruler is insane. The fact that you can make NetBeast pretty easily because all of your P.U.N.K are level 3 Earth Tuners. So this deck works amazingly, and it is very fun to play. Like one of the most fun experiences I had in a very long time playing Master Duel. So for the deck itself, we play 3 Mole Cricket, 1 Sunflower, 2 Camellia, 3 Blessing and 3 Sacred Tree. I started off with 3, I cut it down to 2 because I thought like 3 was a little bit too bricky, and in this deck specifically I most of the time don't really want to see the Camellia because I have better normal summons, so 2 was absolutely fine, and the other ratios are not debatable. Like Mole Cricket is really good, Blessing is good, and Sacred Tree is good, especially because if you play against Sword Soul and you open like Blessing, Mole Cricket, that is so good. That is so good. You go like Blessing, Mole Cricket, and they already have to Baron negate that, because if they don't, you just have 2 monster negates on the board. For the P.U.N.Ks, we played 1 yugioh, 1 Gagaku, 3 Xiamin, 2 Deer Note, 3 Foxy Tune, and 3 Ogre Dance. So those are not debatable. Like you want to see Xiamin as often as possible. Potentially also with a Foxy Tune because it just plays way better through hand traps. The other ones are Deer Note. I was cutting this to 1 at the beginning. If you want to save some dust, can do that as well. But I think just having a second one for the grind game is pretty good. Also, it's not the worst draw because you can just special summon itself, which is also really good. This guy was amazing even without the fusion. This guy was really good because he just let it stay on the field with the Chaos Ruler, and you can make the level 11 P.U.N.K Synchro guy. And this was also okay-ish because the field spell is fine. It's not the worst card. It draws. The secondary effect sometimes comes in handy. So 1 and 1 I think was fine. Some people play this at 2. I think that is too much. I think 1 is just fine for this card. And then we played Assault Synchron, and I have to say Assault Synchron is slowly becoming one of my favorite cards. This card is just fun in every deck that you played in. It's just a very cool card. Also with Chaos Ruler, one very funny thing, if you have like Chaos Ruler and you summon back your Xiamin, and you have an Assault Synchron. If you go Assault Synchron, Chaos Ruler into a Baron, and then bring back Chaos Ruler and go for an 11, Assault Synchron will trigger, banishing itself and summon back the Chaos Ruler, which is just great. It's just great. It is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then we played 2 E-Tally. Obviously, you would play 3 if you could. Like with P.U.N.K decks, this is standard. Then we played 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Cold Buttergrave. You have to play those cards. And for the other hand traps, I decided to play 2 Gamma because it is very good in this Synchro Festival. It is a card that hits Sword Soul, which is pretty good on their normal summon. It is also very insane if you can Gamma during your turn, which especially against Goldie, which is a deck that you will see a lot, happens all the time, because during your standby phase they will always summon back their guys, and you just Gamma that, and then you go Gamma into Stardust into Baron, which is just insane. You just negate something and then you end on a Baron and you have not committed anything. It's great. And then Nibiru. So this card was in because mainly I was playing against a lot of Sword Soul, and I think Nib is pretty good against Sword Soul. Some honorable mentions that I was trying out as instead of Nib were Tactics, which is also pretty good in the Synchro Festival, I felt, and also Lancia. Like Lancia hits a lot of the decks that I played. Like I said, Goldie is there. There's Virtual World, which is hit by Lancia. Sword Soul sometimes, or just has to struggle at least a little bit with Lancia if they play 10 years. Um, yeah, it just did not, all of that did not feel as good as Nip. Like people are summoning a lot here, and Nip is just really good to stop that. For the extra deck, we play one Cupid Pitch. You need this for some combo lines. We play one Net Beast, the unfair card. We play Stardust and Coral Dragon because sometimes we need sixes, and sometimes those need to be a tuner or not. That's why we play both. Shooting Riser because sometimes we want to go into a 7. This happened once and it won me the game because I had this guy in. It is not a waste. Worst case, this can send like Mole Cricket, which you can bring back with Blessing, which is never a bad thing. Crimson Blader in this festival is insane because if this guy connects, you just win the game. Chaos Ruler. I was even trying, or I was considering trying out 2, but yeah, I probably will never summon a second one, but just Chaos Ruler is insane. I really love this card because this card says like, you don't have generic combo lines, you have whatever I mill, and I really love that. Then the Stardust, yeah, most of the time I used it with the Gamma line. Sometimes it comes up late game, but you need to have Gamma or this guy in the grave. Gem Dragon Drive, this was a fine card, not for its effect. I don't think its effect is all too great. I mean, it can grab you follow-up, which is pretty good. If you can make 2 8s at your first turn, you may just, most of the time, make this just to grab you a Xiamen for follow-up. It is just there because you summon a lot of 8s, especially in the grind game, and it's probably the best 8 that you can make if you don't want to waste this or you already used this. Then the Croc, this is my level 9. You can also play the Virtual World level 9 guy, and that is also fine, but I think Croc is better. It just draws cards, and it can also out something as a quick effect, and sometimes you really need that, so I think Croc was the better 9 to play in this deck. But you can probably just cut it for something else because you hardly ever make a level 9. Then for the 10, sadly, we only have Baron. I mean, it's Baron. And the Sword Soul guy, this is really hard for some decks to out, especially Goldie. Like, Goldie loses to this card. Yeah. Chaos Angel or Disparter would be nuts. I cannot wait for Master Duel to release those cards. And then the Yugioh P.U.N.K Amazing Dragon, as well as the Psychic and Punisher to round up the deck. But with that, I will leave you guys with this deck. Test it out. It is actually pretty great, and it is really fun to play. If you enjoyed that, if you have success with the deck, let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, you know how that goes, and I will see you in the next video.